Hello everyone and welcome back to Paper Peony. I am Kimberly Jones and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. I'm going to show you today a really cute bundle called Gone Fishing. It's perfect for Father's Day, but if you love these products so much and want to order them, they're also great for masculine birthday cards, summer cards, whatever occasion you need. There's even a happy retirement stamp in this bundle. So I want to show you and showcase this bundle for you today. I did do some different die cuts and color combinations using these two cards. We will be doing this one in the actual demonstration today. The bundle itself looks like this. Here is the fishing. And it has good things that come to those who wait. So glad that you're my dad. Happy Father's Day, happy retirement, and congrats. So if you have a husband or any kind of male friend or they go out and have the big catch, then congrats would be a great card for that. It's perfect for fly fishermen. It's perfect for just bass fishing, trout fishing, whatever you name it. And then the dies are really unique because it comes with a tackle box inlay. So this outer piece is the bigger piece. And you can actually use those as a inlay for the inside of your card. So it doesn't have to be a tackle box outline. It can be anything. And then this is the tackle box inlay. And then you have all these dies that match the stamps, of course, but then you also have extras like these little sinker. I don't know if you can see those, but they are really, really cute and detailed. They look like sinker weights. Then you have the water splash here. You also have where the cork pops into the water, the splash for the cork. You also have this little tackle here that's fun to put together. You have hooks here that actually die cut 2 hooks at a time. Then you have this little fish die cut. It goes with the stamp, this fish here. But we also have designer series paper that goes with this bundle. And there is a fish on the paper that you can actually die cut out of the paper. So this is a beautiful bundle. And it's 10% off because it was newly created for this new catalog that just came out. It will only be 10% until June of next year, or I'm sorry, probably April of next year when the catalog comes up for being retired or due. They always change catalogs out. So anyway, having said that, let me go over with you. If you go to my website, which is linked down below, to shop products or to look at ideas or things like that that Stampin' Up! Has created. If you go to page 78 and 79 of the annual catalog, there you will see the Let's Go Fishing suite. So here are some samples that Stampin' Up! Has created. Here is that tackle box card, but I have done some different ideas with mine. Then here are the papers, and they are 12 by 12, and you get 2 sheets of each one. I will show you closer detail of what those look like. Here is a rope embossing folder that is really cool and unique. I don't know if you can see that. If you go onto my website and look at it closer up, you can actually see the detail of it. It does look like a rope. If you get the suite, it's $72, and that includes everything. If you just get the bundle, the stamp set and the dies that I'm using today, that's $49.50, and it's 10%. That's including the 10% off. Normally it's $55. So I wanted to kind of go through that and let you know about that. Also, I'm using an embossing folder for the background texture, and you really can't see it unless you look up really, really close. But if you can see, let me see. See, I've put some texture back here on this card. You probably can see it better on the brown one. Let me get the brown one out. Anyway, there's a texture behind. See, now you can see it. There's a texture behind here because I wanted to kind of give the tackle box a little bit of texture. I used an embossing folder for that. We have online exclusive products now where when they couldn't find room for the books, they put their products online. So there is an online exclusive site on my website that you can hit, and those are products that you're not going to see in any catalog. These are 3 embossing folders that you can purchase online. Now they are sold as a set, and I believe it's $30 for 3. But I use this one here to texturize these tackle boxes, but you get these really nice, if you don't have a big polka dot, this is a really nice one. And then this one is stars, flowers, whatever you want to call it, but I paired it with a beach set because I think they look like starfishes. So, and it's a really cool concept too. So that is online exclusive, but we are using one of those today, and I've already pre-done that for you. I did it to save time on this video. So here are the samples. We will be doing this one today, the blue and the Pebbled Path color scheme. And I do have everything pre-cut and pre-done, but I am going to show you how to stamp this tackle, how to overlay all your colors, and how to emboss this Happy Father's Day. I'm going to show you how to do each one of these steps. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our nice, crisp, basic white cardstock out. I'm going to use, because this stamp set is photopolymer, there is no cushioning or padding on these stamps. So I like to use our foam mat for this reason. Okay, and then I'm going to use, let's do the cork first. So I've got the cork mounted on my block. And anytime you want to use our Stampin' blends, which we will be using to color some of our stamps, you're going to want to use Memento for that, so that way there's no bleeding involved. Okay, so alcohol-based markers require Memento Tuxedo ink. It's a fade-resistant dye ink. We do sell it, and then Stays On. That's the other ink pad that's different from our inks, our color dye inks that we have. This is for a non-porous. This works best for non-porous surfaces. It also works for cardstock as well. But you can use water-based markers with Stays On. You just can't use alcohol-based. That's the only flaw to that. Otherwise, it's perfect for vellum. It's perfect for any kind of non-porous surface. Wood, plastic, you name it, you can stamp with this ink, and it's an instant dry effect. So let's go ahead and just use Memento just to be safe with everything that we're doing. Okay, so we're going to stamp our cork. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp a couple. Why not? Okay, and then you're going to take, and let's go ahead and just stamp all of our tackle, since I'm using the same base black, just to save time on all this. Okay, and then I believe that's all. Oh, and the fish. I have the fish tackle. That was a mess up, sorry. Let's do this again. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to show you how all this pairs together, how it stamps. Okay, so with the cork, here is the cork bottom part. Okay, when you look in the stamp set, you have this bottom part to color or stamp your bottom, so you don't have to color it in. And I'm using Poppy Parade because I really like this orangey red. If you want more of a red, there's Real Red, and there's also Sweet Sorbet. Okay, but what you're going to do is you're just going to pop over this stamp, press down, stamp, and it is like a perfect stamp every single time. Okay, so that's how you get your cork. Okay, then your fish, you can do black or any other color. Let me do one with the Mossy Meadow. I like the Mossy Meadow because it's like that true deep green that you're seeing for fishermen and things, like on their bait and stuff. Now, I did not want this to be full dark, because if you stamp this mossy, and it's really, really dark. So I'm just going to come over here and kind of stamp it a little bit just to get that real dark effect off. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to line this up over my fish, press, and then up. And see how that gives you a different effect. You color the head and you color the stripe across the bottom of your fish. Okay. So, and then if you wanted, you could do a dark one. Let me just do a dark one to show you. Okay. And there's the dark one. You can do that with black as well. And I did do some black for today's sample. Okay, and then we also have tackle that we're using, and I don't think I mounted this. I didn't, but I'll do it real quick for you. Okay, so these are the other weights that we've got. And let's just I'll do a Misty Moonlight one. Okay, so just stamp this in Misty Moonlight. Come up here, lay it over your weight, and then there you go. So now you've got a colored weight tackle there. So that's how these stamp. Okay, and then you're just going to pair the dies up with these, and then die cut them out using our die cut machine. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to show you how that works. And I already have all of mine done. I've got this done. I went ahead and die cut these little sinker weights out. Okay, I've got the fish tackle out. I used my blends to color this, and I'm going to show you how I did that here in just 1 second. I went ahead and die cut the hooks out. Okay, and this one is stamped with StazOn on our silver metallic paper to mimic a silver. Okay, so that's using that StazOn that I was telling you about on the non-porous surfaces. If you stamp, it comes out a nice crisp and image, and it dries really quickly on that metallic, because the metallic paper has like a little slippery surface on it almost. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. Now to color these, I used our blends. They're alcohol markers. They're wonderful markers. They have two tips. One's more of a brush tip, and one's more of a knob or a nib. And you've got, if you wonder, without having to just eyeball it and wonder if you're opening the right end, the thicker line is the brush and the smaller line is the nib. So there's the nib, and then here's the brush. Just depends on which one, what you're coloring and how you're coloring as to which one you're going to want to use. Okay, and so with this one, I'm just going to color one real quick and show you how that came about. We have a dark parakeet and a light parakeet, and when you purchase these, you get two shades of that color. So like if you go in and purchase a Parakeet Party Blends pack, for $10, you're getting both of these markers for this reason right here. See how this is shadowing this and making it more dimensional? That is what the blends are for. To give you not a flat look, it's more of a dimensional look in your coloring. So that is what we did, and I used those blends also doing this little guy here. I used the light Parakeet Party, but then I used the Melon Mambo, and then I used Tahitian Tide to give me those stripe looks. So okay, so now we're ready to build our card. I used Tahitian Tide cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, and then scored it 4 1/4. And I've done, yes, here's my trimmer. Really cool tip for you. I learned this from the Bertucci family in Australia, is if you take your paper after you've scored it, take it to the top of your paper trimmer, fold it down on that score line, okay, and go all the way to the top where that other one meets it. Then take a bone folder, go down the center and across, down the center and across. You're gonna get a nice, even, crisp image with your card, and you're not gonna have an overhang here. So a lot of times when I go to score and fold, just freehand fold, there's always an overhang on my cards. So that's a nice tip for you. Okay, so then we have our base done, our base card done. And then, like I told you, I cut this out. Now this is that, I want to say this is the no, this is Pebbled Path. This is one of the new in colors. So this is Pebbled Path. And see that nice little texture? I'm going to try to show you this texture. There we go. Well, I caught it then. There it is. That is the texture of that embossing folder. So we're going to glue this down flat. Like so. And that Tombow glue gives you just a little bit of time to glue that perfect before it sets. Okay, now this next thing, when you go to punch this part out, it gives you these squares punch out with it, okay? And what I did is I ran it through and punched just a section out with this net paper, which is our designer series paper, to put in the background of this one. Okay, and granted, I had a piece of scrap. It's not going to run the same direction because I didn't want to waste that piece. So it's going to go in the opposite direction just to save it. And then I saved this bottom piece right here because that's where we're going to emboss our Happy Father's Day. Okay, all the other ones I just set aside for a different project, a different day. Okay, so now with this, to pop dot that up and make it look like a dimensional tackle box, what I did is I used our foam adhesive strips. These are perfect for shaker boxes, but they're even more perfect for this particular project. So you're going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to get my foam board so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take these strips off. They are double-sided adhesive. And you're just going to go in between. Now, I will tell you this is a very tight fit, so more than likely you are going to see a little bit of the foam tape. And I will show you a trick of that here in a second on how to color that to where you're not totally seeing white on your card. Now, someone had done this card and they bent their foam tape, and that is great and all, but I find it easier just to pinch it off or cut it off and start fresh. So, because it does easily tear. It doesn't easily tear, but it does tear. Okay. And then just go all the way around. Try not to get your overlap of white inside the squares. And let's just use this here since it's right there. Okay. And that little piece right there may just fit right there. And it does. Okay. This looks like you've taken, it takes a long time to do. It really doesn't. I'm just trying to be very careful. Okay. What you don't use, you just stick back on your sheet and put back in your baggie. Okay, so when you flip this over, you can see when it falls down where it's going to lay, where the foam adhesive is going to lay, and you can kind of pinch it or play with it before you take the adhesive backing off of it if you don't like where it's being placed. Like that right there, I have a little overhang. I'm just going to take some scissors and cut that off real fast so it's not showing on my card. Okay, so now we're ready to take the adhesive backing off of this foam. And glue down our tackle box. And whoever gets this card is going to greatly appreciate it. So keep that in mind when you spend all this time on this card, that it's definitely worth it. Okay, and make sure you don't stick to the back of this. Okay, and I just make sure that your hinges are on the, I mean, it can be facing any direction. I just made sure that my hinges were on the right side or the left side of this card. Okay, and then line it up and then just press it down. Okay, and then there's what you have. Okay, and as you can see, you see this white. And if it doesn't bother you, then that's fine. I really would love to see Stampin' Up! Create a black foam strip. And then that way it's a little bit darker and it's not so visible. They did that with the pop dots around Halloween one year and they ended up keeping them. But what you can do is you can take either the blends I don't have the blends in this Pebbled Path yet because this is a brand new in color, but you can take the blender pens, which is just a plain watermark marker, okay, and you can take your Pebbled Path ink of whatever color cardstock you're using. Make sure it's the same. And then you can tab on this ink color, go in, and I'm just going to show you how to do this. I'm not going to do it during this whole video, but go in and color this foam. See, and then it's not so obvious. Okay, so you can do that, and I did that with my other two samples, but for, like I said, for time's sake, I'll go back and do that later, but I just wanted to show you how to do that. So you can go in and color your foam strips. Okay, so now we're ready just to build our card, okay? And what we can go ahead and do, so this can cool down a little bit, let's go ahead and heat emboss our Father's Day. I cannot find, if you buy the embossing kit, it comes with a little cornstarch pillow that is made to take the static off your cardstock so the powder does not cling everywhere. I'm just using a dryer sheet today because you just want to take the static off the cardstock. Okay, so we're going to stamp Happy Father's Day. If you're new to embossing, you're going to use a Versamark ink pad. Okay, and what that is just a clear, sticky watermark ink pad for the powder to adhere to. Okay. Okay, and then you're just going to take it and you're going to center it onto your square, the one that die cut out of your tackle box. Then after that, you're just going to take it and put it into some white embossing powder. Making sure that it's exactly like you want it before you heat it, because once you heat it, you can't change anything. Okay. Move the powder out of the way. Then you're going to use your heat embossing gun. Now, because this square is little, okay, I want to use a clothespin or the forceps that come with our embossing kit to hold this in place so it's not burning my hands. And then you're just going to run your heat embossing gun over your hand until it gets hot, and then across your project, okay? And make sure you're watching. See, it changes colors when it's done. See, it gets to a glossy look. Okay, and it's done and ready. Okay, so now we're ready to build our card, and we can glue this on as last. Let it air dry a little bit. Okay, so we're going to put our netting in first, and I'm just using our Tombow glue to glue that inside here. I'm just going all the way in, making sure it glues flat down. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our dimensionals, and we're just going to glue just however, or adhere however you want your tackle to look inside your tackle box. So like I'm going to glue or put the cork right here. I'm going to put my little parakeet party bobber right there. I'm going to pop dot this bright colored fish across the netting, like so. And then we'll take one of my little hooks that I glued or punched out earlier, or I cut earlier, and just put a tad bit of glue because it's so little. We do have a fine tip glue that would work perfectly for this. Just kind of lay it over the fish to kind of put some emphasis on it. Then glue down your sinkers because those are little. However, wherever you want those. Okay, they don't have to be just so perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to use this one. Now this one is a little different coloring than the one I did in my original, but that's okay because that makes them unique. Okay. And take my silver and put it right there. Okay. Now on this one, I did something kind of fun. I used white thread and did kind of like a fishing line look. And I wrapped it around my 2 fingers to make it where it would be size proportional to the square. Wrapped it around about 4 or 5 times. Cut it. And then I took a glue dot to help adhere this down. Like so. Okay, and you keep in mind the fish is going to hold it down too. Okay. Then you're going to take your fish and put a pop dot on him. Okay. And if you want, you can cut this down. Okay, now we're ready to glue in our embossed Happy Father's Day. And this can be Happy Retirement. You can stamp a different sentiment on here, or Happy Birthday from a different set. Okay, and that's how this card comes together. Very quick once you get all your tackle done. But as you can see, it's totally, looks like the exact same card, except the netting paper is going in a different direction. So, and you can line this with that same, like a little bit, like if you want to just use white, you can use a white, use that rounded corner die and cut that out and put it and glue it on the inside and put a sentiment in there, like "So glad you're my dad," or "Good things come to those who wait," and then sign it. Put a gift card in it if you're going to do that, and then you have the perfect gift. I want to show you a little bit about this paper because this paper is really awesome. It goes with this suite, and if you do purchase the suite together, you'll see that all this paper comes with it. Here is the lure paper that's in that pack, and these are 12 by 12 sheets of paper, and this is the back side. Here is the fishing rod paper, and the back side is the netting. Here is the blue fish, and the back side looks like a denim washboard. Here is the, looks like fishing lures or fishing flies, and then this real pretty stripe. This is my favorite. Here is the fish paper, okay, and that die cuts out this little fish guy right here. And then you've got your gingham on the back, which is really cool. And then this one is water ripples, but then on the back side is like a lake map, like a fishing map, which is kind of cool. So that's the paper. So if you like this bundle really well, doing the paper and doing that embossing folder, that would be the whole suite, and that would be well worth it, because I think that would be a really fun set to play with. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please like this video. It will build up my YouTube channel. Subscribe, that way you'll know when I'm putting out some new videos. And until then, I hope to see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.